everybody, welcome to the Comic Game Movie Show. My name is Deshaun, and today I am here to give you the way that they can do Blade, the MCU Blade. What will it look like? And now that it's basically, and granted, sure, he didn't completely confirm it, but I had someone in the comment section of the last video I just made talking about some. He didn't really. No. He literally said you can go find it. You can go find the article. He literally said we find PG13. We have not found a story in that we have not found a story that we cannot tell under a PG13 rating, and that Deadpool is going to be R-rated, but they do not currently have anything in development that will be R-rated. Guess what's in fucking development? Blade. They announced it at Comic-Con. Sorry. The one dumbass got me kind of flustered in the comment section of that last video because he was like, well, no. That's basically what they fucking said. And he literally said, there's no story we can't tell. We haven't come across a story that we can't tell that needs to be R-rated. And just for reference, just to put it out there, the MCU gets pretty violent. Let's just count it off. Thanos got decapitated and his blood splashed on Gamora's face. Winter Soldier once fucking kicked a man into a jet engine. You saw it. He went boom, up, boom, right into the fucking jet engine. What the fuck do you want, man? The only reason Blade 1 and 2 are rated R, particularly 1, because 2's got some stuff, is because of the overabundance of blood and gore and the swearing. There's not a lot of sexual things in the first Blade, and the things that are sexual are like that. It can be cut out and it wouldn't change the movie even a bit. But the thing that kind of pissed me off a bit about some of the talk around Blade is the only reason people think that Blade needs to be R-rated is because of those movies. And you know what? If you think that it has to be R-rated, then you don't know what the fuck you're talking about because you don't know the source material. Guess what? I know the source material. I picked up a comic book. I've watched Blade's introduction in the in the 90s Spider-Man cartoon. Guess what vampires look like? They don't look like people. No. They look like shadow creatures. And the Marvel Comics, vampires, normal everyday vampires, look like shadow creatures. If you got a body and actual features and looks like a person who just happens to be a bit pale, you are a OP vampire. You're not normal. The normal are shadow creatures, and when Blade kills them, they evaporate. That's the source material. That's the source material. And I personally believe that Marvel will go back to the source material. For people who don't fucking get it, they'll go back to the source material. They'll go, okay, how can we do this Blade differently? First of all, Blade, the original Blade, didn't even take place in modern day. It was a period piece. It took place a long fucking time ago. Like the original Blade, like the way that it was even kind of even when it was created, it was set in it was kind of a period piece at the time. So that's one. Two, like I said, it was never all that gory and over the top. It's the same thing with Moon Knight. Moon Knight wasn't always that gory and over the top. That's new. All the blood and stuff about Blade is new. That's new. That's got attachments to the Wesley Snipes Blade movies, which I fucking love because I had never seen a black action because I had never seen. First of all, the concept of an action horror hero was a unique one to me. Like the only ones I had ever seen was Ash and Buffy, so that was a unique concept. Damn sure I ain't seen a black action horror hero, so that was awesome. It's like two of my favorite genres just smashed together. But the MCU is going to do it differently. The way I see it, the MCU's Blade is going to be as a combination of different things. The vampires will be brutal. They will be violent. They will be much. but it'll be kind of like Outriders. They'll be kind of like Outriders, and like normal everyday vampires are just these creatures, these shadowy creatures. Because John Campion kind of talked about it in his show earlier. You can get away with a lot of stuff when they aren't human, when they're like not when they're just creature look like things. And the way that those vampires, and if you pick up a Marvel comic and you look at the vampires, the way vampires were depicted in the Marvel comics, those can be done differently. Like they can show Blade like ripping one of those things heads off, and it won't be that big of a deal. As long as you're not showing like blood and guts going all over the place, you can get away with it. Not to mention, like a lot of people else have also said, in the Blade movies, people turned to dust when they died. when Blade killed one of the vampires, they turned to ash. So honestly, that's just really my big thoughts on this, because like I said, I really, really have been talking to a lot of people. Obviously, the guy who commented the other day talking about he didn't actually say this. No, Kevin Feige pretty much said that none of the films they haven't talked about it. They haven't talked about it yet. None of the films that they've that have been in development that he feels like needs to be R-rated. So, and I believe Blade doesn't need to be R-rated. You tone down the violence, you tone down the language. You can turn up all you have to do is change the way the creatures look to make them less human. You could tone down the bloodshed, because you can have blood in the MCU, you just can't have it so much. I mean, hell, I don't know if you remember, but there's a scene in Guardians of the Galaxy where Ronan the Accuser cracks a dude's skull like a fucking watermelon, and blood flows down the fucking flows. But like I said, you could get away with certain things depending on how you do it. But that's always been the case in the MCU. It's always been the case. Like dark imagery and whatnot, and the way you execute it. And like I said, that's just how they're gonna do it. They're gonna make the vampires less human. They're gonna make them more like harken to the actual origins of Blade's vampires, which are mostly shadow creatures. They're gonna tone down the bloodshed. They're gonna have the blood to let you know that this is violent and that this is real. But it's gonna tone it down. They're gonna tone down the language. It's not gonna be too much cursing, which they never had to really be anyways. Like the cursing in Blade was like yes. Some motherfuckers wanna go, I know. Some motherfuckers always trying to skate up. What was it? Skate uphill? Yeah, some motherfuckers always trying to skate uphill. Was it ice skate uphill? I don't know. It was something bullshit like that. And I know that line was great. Don't need it. Take it out. Like there's like the amount of F-bombs and whatnot. You can take it out. You don't need it. They can get it across with atmosphere, with editing, with with just a great director who knows what they're doing. Which, granted, we don't know who the director is yet, but if they can get it across to a guy like that, maybe they need to get one of the I was about to say The Conjuring, but that's James Wan. I was like, maybe they need to get James Wan or somebody. They need to get somebody who's got an eye for horror, who can do it in a way where they can still capture it without actually having to show all the violence. Honestly, in my opinion too, some of the things that scare me the most are things you don't know. Sometimes, one of the old school scare tactics that always gets me is the dragging the person away and then the camera cuts away and you don't even get to see what happened to them. That's a classic tactic. And that intimidates me more than seeing the guy getting, shredded, because whatever happened to this dude, they don't want to show it. And you can just do stuff like that. Like I say, I'm happy about this. Like I said, I'm right. I knew I was right about that. I knew they were gonna make Blade R-rated. There was no point, because you can do it. The MCU, you can get pretty violent. You can get pretty heady. You can do some crazy stuff. And the PG-13 is like really, really close nowadays. And like I said, I think that's what they're going to do with Blade. I'm excited for Blade. I can't wait to see what happens. Much as I love Mahershala Ali, I do think he's a bit up there in age. Because, he's not that younger. I don't think Wesley Snipes is that much older than him. So, but we'll see. Hopefully, because, we'll see. Thank you guys for joining the Comic Game Movie Show. Please remember to like, subscribe. And what do you think about Blade? How do you think they're going to do Blade with a PG-13 rating? Please comment below and put your best suggestions in the comment section, and I will read them. Thank you guys again. I'll see you in the next one.